Hey guys, so in today's video, I am going to be doing a review of Ultra Miami 2020's Phase 1 lineup. In case you guys weren't familiar, I went to Ultra Miami in 2017, back when it was in its original home in Bayfront Park, and then it moved this past year to Virginia Key Beach, which, if some of you are familiar, had a couple of issues. But in 2020, it's gonna be moving back to Bayfront Park. It's going home. A lot of people are very, very excited. There's been a lot of talk surrounding this festival, especially now that the Phase 1 lineup is out. So I just wanted to give you guys my recommendations and my opinions on what's out so far. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the stages in case you guys aren't as familiar. And I'm also just gonna be addressing some of the comments that have been made about the Phase 1 lineup because there was a little bit of controversy surrounding it, but it's mainly from people who aren't as familiar with Ultra. So with all of that being said, let's get right into the video. Oh, and before I forget, if you guys are new here and this is like the first video that you're landing on, you're watching, if you enjoy it, I would absolutely love it if you guys would subscribe, join the family, and please give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more lineup reviews, because I do enjoy doing these from time to time when it's a bigger festival. So I thought that this one had enough buzz around it that it would be a good one to cover. So let's get into the lineup. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Ultra next year is March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. There's always Miami Music Week, which is a really, really cool week leading up to the festival where there are tons of like pool parties and nightclubs and all different events that you can go to outside of the festival. So I loved the pool party I went to during Miami Music Week in 2017. I kind of wish that I did more activities, but it was a really good time. And just in general, I had the best time. I went with my best friend Tara. It was just the two of us. We stayed in an Airbnb. I think it wasn't South Beach. It was more, I guess, like north of that, but still like pretty close to the venue. It wasn't too bad. We Ubered every single day to the venue and we just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun time. The lineup is always good. The production is always incredible. I would say my one con, or one of the cons, I didn't love the crowd. You know, it's a very big like partying type of festival. It's a city festival. It's also very international. You get a lot of people from all over the world, which is pretty cool. But we didn't really meet people that weekend compared to other festivals where I feel like it's a little bit more about like the community and the people attending it. I personally didn't find myself making like any friendships that weekend, but it could have just been the year that I went. So anyway, with all of that being said, there's pros and cons to this festival. That's not what this video is about. It's about the lineup. So anyway, let's get into it. I'm gonna pop it up next to me so you guys can follow along. This is just Phase 1. Just so everyone that is freaking out, there will be a Phase 2. Way more artists get released in Phase 2, but this is what we're starting with. So the headliners are Flume. I want to pause there for a second because people are going apeshit for the fact that Flume is on a lineup, so that's really exciting. I'm gonna butcher this name, but Gesaffelstein, Major Lazer, and Zed. So that right there, the one I'm most excited for is Zed. I've seen him before. I really like him. I mean, he's a pretty mainstream artist. He's good. I saw him at Ultra 2017. Major Lazer I've actually never seen live. I don't think. I've seen Diplo. I like Major Lazer better than I like Diplo. I'll just say that. So that's a fun one. I don't know Gesaffelstein at all. And then Flume, I've said this on my channel. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I don't really like Flume's music. I like one or two songs. It's just not my cup of tea. That's totally fine, guys. We can all have different opinions here. So, however, as a fan of EDM and music, period, I respect him as an artist and I understand how big of a deal it is to have him on here. So I would love to see him for the first time because I've never seen him and I don't think it's fair to say, like, to judge him based on his music. If it's not my cup of tea, I might love him live. So I would definitely be into seeing Flume. And then for the bulk of it, we have Above and Beyond, which you guys know, I love my Anjuna family. Fuck yes. I was up against the rail for Above and Beyond in 2017. Love it, not missing that. Adam Beyer, back-to-back, Serezdi, fuck me up, fam, ridiculous. I saw them in New York last year when they played a special show. Like, do not miss that. It's ridiculous. Serezdi is one of Eric Pryd's aliases. It's more of his like darker techno aliases, so that is like perfection. You have Afrojack on here. He's good live. He's not my favorite. I won't go see him, but he's a good artist. Amelie Lenz. First off, she's representing it for the ladies on here because I think there are only two females on this lineup. So Ultra better step up their game and get some more women on here and represent us a little bit better. But Amelie Lenz is an incredible techno artist. So I was really happy to see her up there. I've never seen her live, so definitely will not be missing that. Armin van Buuren, classic. He's a legend. He's so entertaining to watch live. I love him. You can just tell how much he loves music and performing, so that's a big one. Carl Cox, of course. If you guys didn't know, one of the stages is the Carl Cox mega structure. It was by far my favorite stage at Ultra. It was just like otherworldly in there. The production was ridiculous, and he had some really great artists in his mega structure. So we'll come back to Carl Cox in a second. David Guetta, DJ Snake. DJ Snake's always good. He like brings it live, you guys. And I mean, he's obviously an incredible producer, but he's very high energy. He's a lot of fun. Then we have our first B3B, Dubfire, Nicole Mudaber, and Paco Osana. You guys, this is like techno heaven. They're all literal legends. They perform together regularly. It's just like really incredible to see them all like be up on the decks and like doing a performance together. That's usually going to be a much longer set as well. So that's like a whole vibe. I've seen Nicole before. She's a legend. I saw her play a 6-hour set. She played from open to close in New York City, and it was incredible. Then we have Daddy Eric Prydz. Eric Prydz is my favorite. I fucking love him. I will never miss him on a lineup, like never, ever, ever, guys. He's life-changing. So many of you have reached out to me after you've gone and seen him and said that you were like blown away. He's ridiculous. So I'm glad that he's on here twice. He's playing as his alias and he's playing as himself. You have Fisher on here. Fisher's a party. He's a good time. He did some things recently that were like a little bit controversial that I was not a fan of. So wasn't happy about that, but as an artist, I do like him and his music. Then we have Jamie Jones, B3B, Carl Cox, B3B, Anonymous. It's blurred out. We don't know who it is, so that's a very big one. People are like speculating, but that's gonna be awesome. Then we have Jaws back-to-back Nightmare, which I personally am fucking stoked for that. I don't think they've played a back-to-back on a festival lineup. I could be wrong, but that is fucking awesome. Usually it's Nightmare and Slander, so I'm glad they're mixing it up. And also Jaws is one of my absolute favorite artists, so that would be a can't miss for me. Then you have Maceo Plex back-to-back Carl Cox. Again, Carl Cox here for the 3rd time. He has his own stage there. He's gonna play a lot of sets. He's been in the game for like 40+ years, and I love him. You have to see him. Like, I don't care who else is playing. If you go to Ultra, it's like a must see. He's there for a reason. He has a stage named after him for a reason. And I just like love how passionate about music he is. He has his catchphrase, oh yes, oh yes. Betches love Cox. Then we have Martin Garrix on here, which I was surprised that he's been like the headliner for so many years, right? It's like Martin Garrix and Ultra, they just go together. So I was surprised he wasn't like up in the top, but there's a lot of artists that aren't like that. So anyway, Martin Garrix is making his return. That's super exciting. Richie Houghton, he's a classic artist. And then you have Slander back-to-back Keizo, which that is another back-to-back for any bass fans. That's gonna be really fun. I like Keizo a lot. Slander I'm like about, but I think that's a really fun one. And it says under it exclusive. It says that under a bunch of these artist guys. So that's pretty cool. And then Tale of Us, I'm actually not familiar with at all, so you guys can let me know down below in the comments. But that is the Phase 1 lineup. Here are my thoughts and some things that I think are notable and worth mentioning. So for starters, like I said, you have Carl Cox on here 3 times. When I went in 2017, he played 2 sets. He played Friday for 2 hours and Saturday for 2 hours. And I think, I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure it was the last set of the night. Yeah, it was. So we actually ended up going to him on Friday. It was my first time seeing him. Loved it, and went back Saturday to see him again for 2 hours. So I love that you have the opportunity to see him and other artists like Eric Prydz twice. Again, you know how conflicts go. You might just miss them the one day, and then if they're only playing once, that's it, you're shit out of luck. In this case, you can go see them. They're gonna play different sets each time, and they're absolute legends. So I love that Carl Cox is on here 3 times, and it's different. You have him alone, you're gonna have him in a B3B, and you're gonna have him in a back-to-back. So that's gonna be completely different experiences. I think that that's really dope. Again, I think the 2 back-to-backs are really exciting. Jaws and Nightmare and Slander and Keizo. I've never seen those before. Those are just special. Back-to-backs don't happen as frequently, so I usually think that those are worth going to see over an artist that you maybe have seen a couple of times, just because it's special, and artists tend to have a lot of fun when they're playing back-to-backs with their friends. So that was like a highlight for me. Obviously Above and Beyond and like Eric Prydz being on there is huge selling point. Huge selling point. I would be so down for that. And the Adam Beyer back-to-back Cerez D, I'm telling you, that's like a can't miss. One thing that a lot of people were harping on, and again, these are people that might just not be familiar with Ultra. A lot of them were really pissed that there's not any bass music on here besides like Nightmare, Slander, and Keizo. Ultra is not a bass music festival. It's never been. It's primarily, it has a techno stage, which is the Resistance stage. It has the Carl Cox mega structure, and then it has a live arena. So you're gonna have live acts added to this lineup at one point. And then you have the worldwide stage, and I think there was like the radio stage, UMF radio stage, yep. So those stages are gonna be a little bit more diverse as far as genres, but don't get it twisted, this is not a bass music festival. You will have more artists added, but that's not what this is primarily about. I'm excited because you guys know I'm a house head. I love techno music. Techno is just like, I feel like it's having the second or third or fourth wave at this point. It's becoming way more popular. People are really loving it. So that's why you're seeing like Amelie Lenz on here and Adam Beyer. Like, you're just gonna see some more techno artists on this lineup. So I'm a fan. And then those 4 headliners, those were surprising to me. Honestly, that's not what I thought they were gonna come out of the gate with. Like Flume, I think again is gonna be a huge selling point for people. And just as like a producer artist, he's just very talented, so that will be really cool. Again, I don't know Gesaffelstein, sorry for butchering that. But again, there's always something to learn, so maybe it's good to go see somebody. And then a Major Lazer is like, I mean, they're more mainstream, but I'm sure they're fun live. And Zed, like Zed is huge. He's a big mainstream artist. So anyway, that's my thoughts on everything, you guys. I think this phase 1 is pretty sick. Again, phase 2 will have a lot more, so don't be like thrown off by phase 1. Tickets are on sale. They're pretty pricey. I'm pretty sure I looked and GA was over $500 with taxes and fees, which like is really ridiculous, and that's more than easy Las Vegas is. I think we're getting a little carried away with prices now. That's like kind of ridiculous to me, honestly. Like, I don't know. I want to know your opinions, you guys. Are you planning to go next year? To be 1000% honest with you, I was interested. I'm like 50-50 right now. I wasn't planning on doing a festival until Electric Forest, just because I want to save up my money. I just wanted to take like a nice break because I did a lot this summer. But then when Ultra announced that they were going back to Bayfront, I was like, that's kind of tempting because I had so much fun in 2017. And at the time I had my YouTube channel, but I just started it. So I do not have any vlogs on Ultra, and I only have a couple preparatory kind of like tips and advice videos, and they're outdated at this point. They're from 2017. So part of me is like, it'd be really good to just get the new experience and tell you guys how it is. And then this lineup came out and I was like, fuck, that's really good. So I don't know, should I send it? Tell me in the comments down below. I gotta consider it. If the ticket's over $500, like, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. What are your opinions on this lineup? I wanna hear it, so chime in down below. Again, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already. You can also hit the little bell down below so you're notified every time that I post. If you're a real one, you're a real fan member, hit that bell for me. And I think that's all I have for you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.